Hello, the beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosalia, and you're watching Rosalia Shiweva YouTube channel. On this channel, I document my journey as I pivot life, being from the diaspora, living in China for over 10 years, and now back home in Namibia. You never know, maybe I will be hoping to another plane to another country, but that's a story for another day. In today's video, I wanted to share with you guys the reason why I left China. And I went to China in 2012. That's when I went there. I was really young, fresh out of high school, and I was excited. What I knew for sure at that time is I wanted to study on a paid scholarship education, basically. My vision was I get good grades from high school, and then I can get a sponsorship from any company that can sponsor me to go to any other country, not even country or even any university to go and study. But the plan was not actually to go to China. I've never even heard of China at the time. My dream was to go to South Africa. But in the midst of me applying for scholarship, I ended up now getting a Chinese scholarship, and that's how I got the opportunity to go to China for the first time. And then when I finished my bachelor's, I continued my master's, and the last 4 years, I was actually in China. And honestly, this video is not to trash talk about China, but these are my reasons why I realized that it was time for me to leave and come back home. And why did I mention the 4 years? Obviously, the last 4 years has not been easy, but for me, I found a lot of stability. I found a lot of joy doing a lot of what I was doing in China. And also, I just found some sort of like I knew, like, I love China so much. I love China so much. At the same time, there's just that feeling that is constantly there, that you feel like, okay, should I go home or not? And the first point are that I feel the one of the contributing factors for me to finally make a decision to relocate back home is micro racism, or micro racial aspect that we experience as foreigners being in China. It's subtle. It's not so clear whether being you're being whether the locals are being racist. And I'm not talking about everyone. I've received great warmth and great kindness from my great Chinese friends, great Chinese colleagues, partners, and friends, and schoolmates, and all that. That was amazing. But there was a subtle racism around the local people, especially the ones that don't know you. Things like asking you, like, or how come you're so black, or what you guys like, some very, very disturbing questions that you can receive. And I think that on its own contributed for my reason for leaving China, because in the end, one day encounter might not upset me, but the more I experience that, especially the last 4 years has not been easy already. I feel some days I found myself snapping, retaliating back when I encountered micro racial activities from the local people. So just to say, it was not a one day thing of to say, oh, today someone said, oh, I don't like black people. I mean, someone can say it from a distance because they're speaking in the local language and they're assuming that you don't understand, right? And you just be looking at it and like rubbing it off. But that kind of builds up in you and eventually you snap. I can share with you countless times when I snapped back, even wanting to insult. I mean, even insulted some people, some local people, for the reason that I was experiencing microracial activities from them, but I didn't really know why I was snapping and why I was being angry. I guess it's because of the build up of that. That's point number one. And also in the last year, I've experienced kind of mistreatment from Chinese colleagues. And I feel that was like at the peak of where I was really getting tired of everything. And I was just like, the last encounter, I was just like, I'm done and I'm tired. And that is specific number of people, not the whole country. I mean, like, I've been to places where I've been treated really well, really welcomed, and most of the Chinese are really welcoming. But this video is just sharing my reasons why I left China. And of course, toxic work environments, gossip and bullying and all that type of thing. And also another thing that I've experienced is like, because my whole life I've always been a student, and then the last year I was navigating between trying to do business, trying to work, and all that. And that, being a student in China is really easy, but now the moment you start going out in the real world, being an adult and facing the real challenge of life in China, it became so hard that I felt like, okay, I needed a break. And I thought, a break, why not just move back to Namibia? And that's what I did. I took a plane to come back to Namibia, and I cannot like experience myself how much relaxed, how much breathtaking it has been so far being in Namibia. And every place has its own ups and downs. But for now, I'm happy that I've made that move. And another reason why that really pushed me to leave China is obviously there are a lot of surprises all the time in policy, regulations, and things like that. Are that on its own can be very much just makes you feel uncomfortable sometimes, yeah, because you never know what is the surprise, what's next. Yeah, but I guess those are the tales of being abroad, right? Yeah. And also, I came to a point where studying was not my priority anymore. Making money was not my priority anymore. It was more of I wanted more, and I just needed sort of a feeling that I was just yearning, and I didn't know what was it called. So I guess moving back home was maybe what I was yearning. And another thing that really pushed or annoyed me in the time that I before making my decision, I think also the question of when are you coming home kind of annoys someone. Or as a foreigner as a person who lived in the diaspora for a long time, every year, month in and out, your family members and friends would ask you, when are you going back? Are you planning to go back? Especially now that the 4 years I've not, I always try to go back home like every 2 years or once in a year, every other year. That would be cool. That has been my trend, but the last 4 years there was no opportunity for me to be back home. So I guess I stretched it too long until when the point where even a question of how are you just became a problem. Even the question of when are you going back or what's your future plan just became a problem. I just started even isolating myself from everyone because I just didn't want to even take on extra baggage or burden from anyone. And that was just some sign of kind of, you know, challenges mental health wise. So therefore, I was just being at the most, if someone does something, I was gonna snap. Like I was just gonna get angry, like randomly. That was like some of the signs in my last few days when I before I bought my ticket. So that's the reason why I left China. And in the nutshell, being away from home or living abroad has always been not that easy, but a lot of time has been sweet and cool, and it has been really a great time. And it's not to say these are me, I'm trash talking China, but just to say anywhere in the world, that's how my conclusion now, anywhere in the world as a foreigner, you would come to a point sometimes when you would want just to get some fresh air or be relocate or make that move to go back to your home country. Yes, and a lot of you guys are asking me, is this my last time? Will I ever go back to China? For now, I know I love China as much as I love Namibia, and I never know. You never know. You just never know. Yes, and I can also share with you guys in the last couple of 4 years, I've had a lot of countless times looking at airplane tickets before I really purchased my tickets finally. There were times that I would call my friends or my support system back in Africa, and I'll call them like, should I just buy my ticket? Should I just come back? No. Especially when we had a lot of ups and downs in and out of policies and all that has been happening in the world. And I had so many countless times when in fact, one time I bought a ticket and I didn't make it to the plane for certain reasons as well. And those encounters or those experiences, that was just like a long time coming thing for me to really finally make it to relocate back home. And that's all for today's video. If you have relocated maybe recently, let us know in the comment section, or let me know if you relate to what I've shared with you guys in this video and what you guys think of my hairstyle. My hairstyle is new, and I've done that because of celebration of just this new chapter that I'm entering in, relocating. I mean, I just cut off my hair just to get new fresh air. I feel it's a it's a celebration. It's a it's a celebration for me to start a new chapter in my life, and that's why I even cut my hair. So, what you guys think of my new hairstyle? Anyway, I do hope you guys are doing amazing, and let me know in the comment section, what do you think about my relocation back home. Thank you so much. Until my next video, stay humble, stay positive, and work hard towards your goals. Goodbye.